And that was his practice for, it worked for his friends, and then he turned it into a career eventually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I understand you organise this very nicely links in with the Summer of Love. You organised a conference in Buckinghamshire, am I right in saying, a
Yes.
few weeks ago?
Yes.
Which is the EPSD50.
ESPD50, which stands for
ESPD50.
Ethnopharmacologic Search for Psychoactive Drugs 50, meaning 50 years later, in a sense. There was a conference by that name in San Francisco in 1967, totally separate from all the counterculture stuff that was going on. This was a secret government conference. The National Institute of Mental Health paid for it. They had all the leading investigators of the time that were there. There weren't that many of them, but they had this conference. And the only thing they ever issued out of it was a volume of proceedings of this conference, sold for years by the U.S. government printing office. Anyone could order it, and that was it. And somehow or other, that book fell into my hands at the age 18, and I was a teenager, still back in Colorado. My brother was on the West Coast having all the fun and all the chicks and all the drugs and all the, he was at the center of it. And I was like, what am I doing back here in, this podunk town, which was actually a pretty nice town, but I hated it. I thought it was, I wanted only one thing from that town. That was out, right? I wanted to get on the West Coast where the action was. And so, So I was dreaming of my future, and somehow or other this book came into my hands. I don't know who got it, maybe Terrence, I'm not sure who gave it to me, but I read it, and about the same time the Teachings of Don Juan came into my hands, the first edition, right? Terrence gave that to me for my 18th birthday. And those two books were important because I realized from that there was a scientific side to this and there was an ethnographic side, even though we know most of Teachings of Don Juan is probably not true or inaccurate. It didn't really matter because it made me aware that there was an indigenous tradition of use of these substances going back thousands of years. And there was a scientific discipline that was looking at some of these things. So that was influential for me in terms of making my career choices. It took a few years to really figure out that. But that was, it was kind of like, my God, you can actually get paid to get stoned? What the hell is this? This is what I want to be doing.
Yes, my dream job too.
Right. A lot of dreams, but I made it happen. Yes, so after many years,